Alhamdulillah. Alhamdulillahi wassalatu wassalam ala Rasulullah anbiya'i wal mursaleen. Assalamu alaikum rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. It's an honor for my team to be helping people with the Hajj. It is just a blessing of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And my team is mostly made, everyone is basically volunteers. We want to do this so that to make the nusuk process easier for people. There are people when they hear about the nusuk, there are different opinions that come about it. Oh, it's very difficult. It's very challenging. We cannot make it. I agree with all that. But over the years, having helped the people, we know how to make it work. And we are here to guide you, inshallah. We will guide you. We will be step in step with you. Inshallah ta'ala, that's our commitment. Okay? So there is a QR code. If you go ahead and scan it, you will register in our webinar session so that week after week we are holding the sessions. And we are also holding the sessions in several masajids in Atlanta area and outside Atlanta. Purely simply to help people. There is no other gain coming from this one other than to please Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Okay? So, nusuk process, as I said, yes, it does look complicated, but with our help, with our guidance that we are giving, with the explanation we are going to give, inshallah ta'ala, it can be achieved. It is not that difficult. But we need you to cooperate in doing it. We don't want you to think that it's going to be just a breeze. Brother Farid, Brother Wasim, Brother so-and-so will just make it happen for you. That's not going to happen. This is like in your hands. What the Ministry of Hajj is trying to do is trying to put the Hajj process in your hands. That is what the whole nusuk process is. They just want you to be the one that registers, you to be the one that selects, you to be the one that picks the package, you to pay for the package. You don't need to get me involved in paying for it. We are here to guide you, to help you through that process, inshallah ta'ala. So, first of all, I want to make you all relax. It's not that complicated. It is achievable, inshallah. So, let's move forward. I have to turn this on, right? Okay, this is overall Hajj process. This is basically what your overall Hajj process is. You start with the registration. You start with the registration, and then there is once you do the registration, then there is a verification process. The ministry, which is supported by the nusuk, they will review your registration, make sure you have submitted all your information correctly, documents and everything else, and they will do a verification, and then you will know if everything is correct or not. They will tell you it is success. If it is valid, you move forward. Okay? Now, registration being successful does not mean you have the visa. Please understand this. I want to make sure you all understand so that there is no wrong expectation. The registration is basically saying that I'm interested in going and here is my information. And then the next step that comes is when they release the package. They will release the packages for review. They give you about 3 to 4 weeks to review the package, and that's when you find out the package information, the details, and the prices, etc. And we'll guide you through that information. When the package is released, before the package is released, in our next webinars, we will explain how to look at the packages, how to pick the packages that meets your requirements. Inshallah, we'll do all that, okay? Again, I want to repeat, we are going to be there step by step. This is not the only session. We have weekly webinars that we are holding. We will continuously walk you through that, inshallah. Okay? So, you do the package review. You look at the package information, the cost, the hotels, the number of days, when do you go, the gateways that you take the flight from, all that is in the package. You have about 3 to 4 weeks to evaluate it. During that period of time, you're going to put the funds in your account. You are going to put the funds. You are not going to give it to anybody. This is what Nusuk is trying to do. Everything is in your control. Everything, they want to enable the hujjaj to control everything. So you put your funds into the e-wallet, and we will show you how to do all that later in the later webinars, inshallah. Okay? And then you select some packages that are of interest to you. You put it into the shopping cart, okay, kind of shopping cart concept. And then when they open up the package purchase after about 3 to 4 weeks of releasing the package for review, you go and say, now I want to buy this package. Now, the packages are available, visa is available, you are good. The package is available, the visa is available, and you have the appropriate funds in the e-wallet, you take it and fly. There is no multiple payments concept, nothing. You have the funds in the e-wallet, the package is available, the visa is available, you buy the package. It is very similar to most of the e-commerce sites. If you think about Amazon, for example, in Amazon, this is pretty much the same concept as Amazon. You go and create an Amazon account. You create your Amazon account. And then they release the products. The products there are 20 of these packages available, of these products available, quantity. As long as you have a valid credit card and you are the first 20 people, you get that product shipped to you. Same concept here. Same concept. This is the e-commerce. This is how the e-commerce works. That's what they are duplicating here. Okay? There is a bit of trick here with the e-wallet, and we will walk you through it. We'll help you through that, inshallah. And we'll get into the details in the future weeks, inshallah. So through our webinars that we hold on Saturdays. So please get into our webinars, because we are going to build step by step your knowledge, inshallah. So once you get the package, okay, package is there, visa is there, you got the funds, you got the package purchase. Then you get your Hajj visa and the flight tickets, everything through Nusuk. You're not waiting there for Brother Farid to give it to you. You're not waiting for someone else to get to you. You don't have to go to the embassy to get the visa. It all comes through the Nusuk. Then you're ready for the Hajj, inshallah. So now, the timeline wise, these are the timelines. Registration is open right now. You can go and start the registration immediately. Okay? And then this month, sometime next week, they are going to start the verification process. So that's why we are trying to rush people into completing the registration now, so that once the verification starts, at least you will get the success. If there are issues, there is a little bit of time here for you to work through the issues. We want you to start the registration process now, today, if you have not done it. So that the verification process, once it starts next week, they will review it. They can come back to you, say, nope, you got to change this information. So that way, by the time the package review happens, which we are expecting in the middle of December to the 3rd week of December, you're ready to fly. You're ready to review. Because remember, you still have to put the funds into the e-wallet as soon as the packages are released. Until you complete the registration process, you cannot even get to this step. Until your registration is successful, you cannot even view the packages. So it's really important that you complete this process. Very, very important. So then package review we are expecting sometime towards the 3rd week, 4th week of December, inshallah ta'ala. And then we are expecting the packages, once they are released, you have about 3 to 4 weeks. So that takes you into the middle of January to the 3rd week of January. In between that period of time, by middle of January, 3rd week of January, you need to have the funds into the e-wallet based on the packages that are of interest to you. With this package review, it tells you what packages you are interested in, and then you fund your e-wallet by this period of time. And January, later part of January, you should be ready to purchase the package. Now, you might say, why do I want to rush through this? I'll buy the package later on. The visas are limited. The visas are limited by country. United States, we don't have they don't release the exact number, but it was about 3,000 to 5,000 visas for United States, which in my opinion is not enough. There is a lot more demand than that. There's a lot more demand than that. That's why you need to be ready here. So as soon as the purchase starts, you should have the funds ready, you should have registered, you should have put some packages in the shopping cart, ready to click the purchase button. Okay? Now, why is this a good process? Because everything is yours. You are the ones deciding it. You are the ones deciding what package you want. You are the ones that are making all these decisions. So this is why you need to make sure you are ready completely to go forward. Okay? So by end of January, middle of February, packages are generally gone. At least the preferred packages are gone. So you need to be ready. I want to re-emphasize, you need to be ready, inshallah. The travel for Hajj is expected sometime in the middle of May. Hajj, the days of the Mashayar are around the 24th, 25th of May. So by middle of May, you should start planning for your travel. So if you're making any vacation plans right now, so start thinking about leaving by middle of May. Middle of May, and plan for about 3 weeks at least. 2 weeks is possible, but plan for 3 weeks, just to be flexible, inshallah. So that is this part here. Now, for today, I want us to concentrate on registration. Let's not worry about all this right now. We will get into the details of the packages, the e-wallet, how do you purchase the packages, we'll get into later on, in the later webinars. Right now, the key part is getting the registration in and getting the verification done. That is the immediate concern. That is what we want you all to concentrate on, okay? So, the registration process, if you think about it, has 3 aspects to it. One is the documents, preparing the documents. Preparing the documents is very, very key, okay? And we'll go over that, inshallah. The second part is creating the account. Just creating the account, that's all it is. The third and final portion of the registration process is the registration. That is where you upload the document, you complete the rest of the information, that completes the registration. But remember, this is only submitting of the registration information. Until it is verified, you're not ready to go. Again, I'm using the Amazon. If somebody dislikes Amazon, please don't hold me responsible. I'm just using it. It's like you submit your information to create an account in Amazon. Amazon is going to look at you. Are there any credit issues? Any other issues? Have you returned lots of things? Whatever their criteria is, then they are going to say, okay, you are allowed to create the account now. Same process. So once you submit all the information, the Nusuk is going to look at, have you submitted the passport correctly? Can we read it properly? Is your picture correct properly? Have you submitted the rest of the information, which we'll go through, inshallah? Then you're ready to do this thing. Now, that's only then you can look at the package review when they're released, inshallah. Okay? So, let's get into it. The 2 major documents that are required. 2 major documents that are required. One is the passport. One is the passport. The second one is your passport picture, your personal picture. Okay? There are specific dimensions required. There are specifications on this. The passport picture has to be maximum 800 by 400 pixel. Okay? Remember, and we'll guide you how to do this one, inshallah. The file size of this one has to be 1 megabyte. And it has to be in the PNG or JPG format. This is your passport, irrespective of which country's passport you have. The second one is the picture, passport picture, your personal passport picture. This one has to be maximum 200 by 200. And it has to be somewhat similar to this. The background has to be white, and the clear white, and the face has to be somewhat like this. The passport picture has to be somewhat like this. Otherwise, it gets rejected. Very important, okay? So you have to follow these guidelines, inshallah. Now, if you are in United States, but if your passport is Morocco's, for example, then you need to submit a third document, a residency document. Okay? So if you have the US citizenship, these are the only two. If you have a citizenship that's from another country and not a US citizenship, if the residency and passport do not match, then you need to submit this third document. This third document can be any of this: your green card, your driving license, your bank statement. It can be if you have a H-1B visa, or if you have your lease agreement. So these are all things that they accept. Again, it has to be 800 by 400, same as the passport. So 3 documents are required if your residency and citizenship does not match. Okay? If your citizenship and residency match, then you only need these 2. I want to be clear about it. Do not think that everybody has to submit this. If your citizenship is American, US, you don't need to do this. This will not even come up for you. Okay, this is only if your residency and citizenship does not match. So when you do this one, again, you have to make sure it's 800 by 400 and it has to be visible. It's very, very important whether you're looking at this, that, or this. It has to be clearly legible. People, they have to be able to read. Now, with a passport, a few things I want to point out. It needs to be like this, from this edge to this edge, this edge to this edge. The digits here have to be clear. My recommendation is avoid taking picture using your phone. Avoid taking a picture using your phone. Use a scanner. Use a scanner. If you don't have a scanner at home, UPS, FedEx, copy machine offices, they have that one. It's $1 or $2. But at least that way, you get these edges correctly. What did I do? Okay? So this way, you'll make sure you get all these edges correctly. If you miss any of this part, it'll get rejected. Scanning itself will fail. So this is very important that you get the image somewhat similar to this. It's very, very important. Okay? Same thing with this. So let's just move forward. So now, how do you set these pixels? How do you set the pixels? You can use there are several different packages available, but what we recommend is using the paint on the Windows. It comes with your Windows software, or paintbrush on Macintosh, on Mac. Okay? You can use this, basically this one, for example, we are just showing you an example. If you are using the paint software on the Windows, you bring it up, you bring up the image, you click on this resizing. There is an icon here that says resizing. You pick up the resizing, you select the pixels, you deselect the skew here, and then you set it to 600 by 800 by 400, 600 by 400, whatever is required here. And then you set OK. At the bottom here, you will see what settings you have. But once you have completed, you still need to make sure it is legible. During this pixel setting, you cannot have the image go bad. It still has to be legible. Very, very important that you do this one. Okay? Now, going back to the passport quickly, one very important thing about the passport is, irrespective of which country's passport you have, it has to be valid 6 months from the date of the travel. Remember, not today. Date of the travel, which is in the month of May. So, if your passport is expiring any time before November 26, send it out for renewal immediately. Do not submit your registration with the old passport. Chances are very high it will get rejected, and then if you go for a renewal, then it's going to get delayed. Remember, registration has to be successfully completed and approved before you can view the packages. You don't want to miss that. Everything is very timely. Unfortunately, what our experience has been, people are still not taking this registration seriously right now. People are still thinking, Ramadan time is coming, we'll do it then. It's not going to work that way. Registration, e-wallet, everything has to be completed by middle of January for you to be able to buy the package. Our expectation is before the start of Ramadan, packages will be sold out. That is what we are thinking. That is what our experience has been. So, please, if your passport is expiring in September of 26, send it out for renewal. You generally can get the passports renewed in about 2 weeks' time, generally. So then you're ready to start your process, inshallah. So that is that part. So we went through this one. Any questions so far on what I have covered so far before I move forward? Any questions? I want to pause for questions here. Yes. Yes, I'll talk about that. Jazakallah khair. Okay, just wait until for a minute. Very good question. When we are talking about Hajj registration, forget your mobile app, please, please, for Allah's sake. Nusuk is a website program. It's a website. Do not confuse that with your with your mobile app, whether it's Android or iOS. Hafizat, is this safe? I don't want the child to fall. Okay, so make sure that we are only talking about the website platform, Nusuk platform, not the Nusuk app on the Android or iOS. That comes into picture once you buy the package. Then some of the documents will come on that Nusuk app. But until you buy the package, the visa is issued to you, that doesn't come into picture. Okay? So disregard the Nusuk app. This is the Nusuk website. So, any other question before I move forward? Any other question? Okay. All right. So, this is the website. hajj.nusuk.sa. If somebody sends you the link to the hajj.nusuk.sa, please be careful that it's exactly like this. There are scammers. There are scammers who are sending out a website that looks like this, but replacing the A with a funny A. Then it goes into their scamming website. So it is best that you look at this and you type it in. You don't click on a link that somebody has sent you. This is a common practice for generally everything. But with the Hajj, because you trust the Hajj so much, right? Because you trust, oh, it's Hajj. So you click on it. But you know, they will replace this A with some funny character, or this yes with some funny character, U with some funny character. It will go off somewhere else. Okay? So just be cautious about that. I need to warn on that. Okay. So when you're on this website, this is very weak. Okay. You click on this registration. You start by clicking on the registration. And then this is where you're going to create the account. Not registration, this is just creating the account. Here you're going to give your country of residence. Very important. It's talking about country of residence, not country of citizenship. It is country of residence, the country that you are in. Nusuk is only for those people who are residing in North, South America, Europe, UK, Australia, New Zealand, Japan, South Korea. If you are from Africa, this is not good. Residency, not citizenship. I'm only referring to residency. If you are a resident of Morocco, for example, you cannot use this Nusuk app. There are different Nusuk apps for Morocco. Okay? So this one is good only for residents of those places that I just mentioned. And what they are asking here is again, which country are you resident of? You say United States, right? And then it's asking you for confirming it. Then you enter your email. Make sure you provide an email address that you have access to, that you know the password, because don't give an email that you forgot the password, now you're stuck. Okay? Make sure you provide an email address that you have access to. You check all these boxes and then you create the account. Then you click on create the account. Okay? So once you have created, then it will ask you to create the password. You create the password following the rules that are given. Then it will tell you that the account has been created. Again, remember, you have not registered yet. All you have done is created an account for yourself. That's all you have done. Okay. The next step after this is where your registration starts. When you click on that, it will tell you to go forward. It will send you an OTP code to your email address. You use that OTP code to get into this location. OTP code, the access to your email is very important. The reason I said make sure you have access to that email, because continuously the way Nusuk keeps verifying is by sending an OTP code to your email address. You need to have access to that to move forward. So once you do that, it will come here. It will ask you to upload the documents, the passport, and your passport picture. Okay. Now, if you have done your document setting up, adjustment, and all that, prepared your document correctly, it will do the scan and you move on to the next one. Otherwise, it will tell you scan has failed. It will give you 3 opportunities. Then it will tell you, okay, manually update the information. That's a bad idea. You should never get to that point, because when you go and update the information manually, there are chances that you are not going to submit the information correctly and your registration can get rejected. So it's very, very important that you prepare your document correctly. It's very important. Okay. So then you go through all this. Once you submit the passport, the information that is here, that it scans and picks up, is the information that's on your passport. Not what in actuality your name is. Whatever is in the passport is what they want. They don't want to know if your name is Abdul Rahman, Muhammad, Abdullah, your actual name. But if Abdullah is not on your passport, it should not come here. Please do not make the mistake of saying, oh, wait a minute, I don't see Abdullah here. Let me go put it in. Your application will get rejected. Nusuk, information in Nusuk has to match letter by letter to how it is on your passport. It's very, very important. Make sure, do not go and touch this unless the information that they scanned is not correct. It is happening, and I'll point that out. What is happening is, when they are scanning right now, many a times they are missing the middle name that is there on the passport. Okay? Middle name, for example, my name is Farid Yusuf Ahmed. Okay? The first name on my passport says Farid Yusuf. Last name is Ahmed. When they scan with first name just Farid, and the last name will be Ahmed. It's an error. When it goes to the Nusuk verification, it's going to fail. Okay? So it's important for you to look at it, but only look at it to match with the passport. I want to repeat this again and again, because people have gone in and said, oh, there is a M in my name, actually, which passport people forgot, so I need to put it in. No, sir, please don't do that. Okay? So you click on this edit, you go here, you say first name in my passport says Farid Yusuf. That's how it says, first name. I need to add Yusuf here. That's all. I should not go and say, well, wait a minute, middle name should go here. No. First name it says is Farid Yusuf. Follow your passport the way it's on your passport blindly. This is exactly what you need to do. You don't use your logic saying that, you know what, my father had given me Abdullah there and Abdullah is missing. I need to put it. You cannot do that. Okay? So review this, make sure it's all accurate, and then you move on to the next screen. Once this is done, you click on all that, and then you move on to the next one. All these screens are pretty self-explanatory. I don't want to waste too much time on this. And then you come to this form here. There is just one thing. There is a medical form here, which refers to chronic ailment. As of last year, even though they were asking this information, it was not relevant either in the verification or in the visa issuance. But will they change this year? I don't know that. I don't think they will change. So be careful when you complete this form. It's asking about chronic diseases. Chronic diseases as in dialysis, which requires regular medical attention. This is not because a person has diabetics, he has to take diabetic medication. That is not a chronic disease. This is what even the Google, if you look in the online, if you search for it, that's what it says. It is a chronic disease which requires attention, regular medical attention. That is what chronic diseases are referred to. Consult your doctor if you want further clarification on that, but be careful because I don't know if they will make any changes, if they will have any restrictions based on this. Okay, I don't think they will, but you better be careful with this. After this, this is one screen that you have to be careful. There are two forms here. It talks about street address, home address, and post office box. People get stumped here. When they talk about street address, they are referring to the numerical part of your address. 2020. Let's say 2020 Williams Road. You would put 2020 here. You would put the Williams Road here. 2020 here, Williams Road here. If you don't have a post office box, just say not applicable. If you have a post office box, fine. Otherwise, you're just going to put the numerical part here, the alphabetical part here. Coming to, there is one more screen which talks about total expected days in the KSA. You're going to say, I don't know, I haven't bought the package yet. I don't know how many expected days are. Just put some dates. Generally, you can put 14. And expected travel method for everybody going from the souk is going to be by air. And then they are going to ask you for flight number. Again, you are going to say, I don't know the flight number, I don't have a package. But you have to enter, it's a required field. Just put 1, 2, 3 or 001, whatever, it doesn't matter. This does not affect your registration. Not entering the information, you cannot move forward. Okay? Then the next screen, the last screen, is where they are going to give you the review. This is the screen. You need to look from top to bottom. Make sure the information matches the passport. I will keep repeating this. The information has to match the passport. That is the key part. So once you get to this, then you submit the application. I missed one part here. Yes, you asked the question. I want to talk about this one. On the summary screen, so just I want to go back so that I'm clear. Once you submit the passport, when you get the summary screen, if you scroll down on that summary screen, you will see this one, uploaded documents. Below the uploaded documents, you will see one more piece of information that says add a family member. This is how you add a family member to your account. Now, what does adding of a family member mean? That means any member who is part of this account will be paid through this account. Same package. If you have a reason that your brother wants to fly on a different date, do not put it into this package, into your account. Because everybody in this account will follow the same path. Same date of departure, same date of arrival, same hotel, same package, same everything. And it will come out of the e-wallet. And we'll talk about e-wallet later on, don't worry about it. We will get into a lot more detail about that, okay? But everybody in the account will have to follow the same path, okay? So this is how you do it. Now, when you click on this add family member, it will not take you immediately into adding the family member's information. It will ask you for the email address. Every member in the account needs to have their own email address, unique email address, and their own unique phone number. You need to provide this information, okay? So when you enter that email address, they send you a notification to that email address to say, is this a valid email? Once that person confirms, yes, I want to be on the account with this person, that's when you come and you upload the passport picture. You need to go through that process, but it's part of your account. Okay? Clear about this? Okay. So this is how you do it. Now, one other thing I want to point out, in case if the verification process fails, if they say your passport copy is not clear, resubmit it. You come to the same screen here, you come here, passport, you do the delete, and then it will tell you to upload. This is how you resubmit it. It is from this screen, you'll resubmit the information. You do not go up there and make changes to your this thing, unless you messed up in your entry there. Okay? So, let's move forward. So, once you get application submitted successfully, this is where you have completed your registration process. You're successful, not that you have gotten verified yet, but you submitted the form for verification. That's what it means here. So we have a document, we have a video and a document that talks about the registration process. It's in this QR code. There is this thing here. There is also a document that talks about how to do the registration. Please, you can take a picture or we'll share it to you. But you scan the QR code, you go there, and you will follow the video, inshallah. Step by step, it will tell you how to do the registration. Please follow the step-by-step process. Please do not try to deviate from it because it has its own challenges. Can I move forward? Okay. Okay. Package prices. Package prices, this is again, the range that we are going to give you is only approximate range. Because we cannot tell you the package prices until the packages are released by Nusuk. Please understand this. We are only giving this to assist you to start planning for it. Okay? The factors that generally affect the prices is the hotel location in Makkah, not Medina. This is Makkah hotel location. How close is it to Haram? What is the category? What kind of star? 2-star, 3-star, 4-star, 5-star. The second factor is the hotel rating. The third factor is the type of the camp. There are 3 types of the camp that we deal with: Al-Mu'assim, Al-Kabsh. We generally deal with Al-Mu'assim and Al-Kabsh, but there is a third camp that has been added, which is called Kidana, which is, I want to be very honest, it's out of the reach of most of my people. Okay? But it's also a camp. There is Al-Mu'assim, Al-Kabsh, and then there is Kidana. I'll go over this a little bit more. So these are the 3 factors that generally affect. No, I didn't mean you. You can afford it. Yes, I know. Sorry, I forgot. There are some people that can afford it. Okay? The Kidana camp starts at 25,000. Okay? So 25,000, and it can go up to 40,000. I'll go over this, inshallah. Okay. This is your hotel. This is the Makkah map of Makkah. Okay? So zone A and B, the most expensive packages would be zone A and B. Okay? Zone A and B, hotels in zone A are right across from the Haram. B is the one which is right behind that first level. Okay? These are the Clock Tower, Makkah Hotel, your Dar Tawheed, Anjum, Hilton, blah, 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 etc. All those hotels. These are in zone A and B, which is the immediate walking distance into Haram. The third group is the zone C, which is about a mile walking distance. It's still walking distance. There are shuttles available until the 5th of Dhul Hijjah, but it is still walking distance. It's about a mile. Okay? And so these are the third level of the hotels. Hotels such as Voko, Dar Shuruk, etc., basically. Okay? Several other hotels not coming to my mind. Okay? The fourth category is a zone M or D, which is in Azizia. Azizia is about 5 to 7 kilometers. It's about 3 to 5 miles. There are shuttles. Frequency varies to Haram and up to the 5th of Dhul Hijjah. After 5th of Dhul Hijjah, it becomes very difficult. Okay, there are taxis that you can get through, etc., etc. Okay, but it's key to understand it is about 3 to 5 miles from Haram, but it is also closer to Mina, Jamarat, to your camp. So there are advantages of one and the other. During the Mashar days, the hotels in Azizia become more accessible, but during the other days, it is a little bit more difficult to get to Haram. Okay, but the package prices are generally significantly different. Okay, there is a difference in the packages. So this is just a picture from the top. This is Haram. These are all your zone A. This is zone B, and then your zone. Oops, what did I do? Okay, this is zone A, zone B, zone C is back there a little bit, and then if you get into zone D, which is out here in Azizia. Sorry, okay, this is the camp. Very important that you understand the camp locations. The camp, the lowest camp for the Nusuk is the Al-Muassim. It is for it's also referred as American camp, European camp, or Al-Muassim camp. It is approximately 3 miles of walking to the Jamarat. There is no transportation available. One way, 3 miles. 2.7 to 3 miles. There is a paved path with lots of tunnels with fans, etc., but it is still walking only. I want this clearly understood. I don't want any misunderstanding. The Al-Muassim camp, walking to the Jamarat, is 2.5 to 3 miles one way. Okay? So you will be doing this 3 times during the Hajj. 3 times during the Hajj. It is not difficult. I want to be careful. I want to offer that. Okay? But if there is a reason that you don't believe it is something that you can handle, then you need to consider the Al-Qabs, which is generally about $2,000 to $3,000 more, and it's a limited packages with Al-Qabs. So if you're stuck saying that I only want Al-Qabs packages, then chances of getting packages goes down. Please understand this. Okay? So my suggestion is start exercising now. Start walking around the park. So inshallah ta'ala, by the time the Hajj time comes, walking 2.5, 3 miles would not be difficult. Stop eating pakoras, stop eating all the biryanis. Okay? So, but start preparing. I mean, you got time. You got time. Unless there is a physical disability, yes, I understand that. Then you have to consider the other camps, because there is no assisted wheelchairs available there. There is no assisted wheelchair available. Wheelchairs will be provided by the service provider, but it is not assisted. Okay, so it is a bit of a challenge. If you can get an electric wheelchair, it is possible. That's what we recommend to our members that go with us. If you are unable to walk, then consider getting an electric wheelchair. Okay, but other than that, it's almost impossible to push. Although what we do when we start getting closer to the Hajj, the group that is going with us, we encourage them to become a family member. Meaning, if there is a person who happens to have difficulty walking, help them with a wheelchair. But it is not officially suggested. It is not officially promised. I want to be careful in that. Okay? So these are the camps. And then this is the Kidana camp here. Okay. The benefit of the Qabs camp, one is just a half a mile walk to the Jamarat. And then the ride between the Mashar sites, which is Arafat, Muzdalifah, it is by train. Whereas in the Al-Muassim camp, it's by bus. Okay? Now, there are advantages, there are disadvantages. The one with Al-Qabs, the train, yes, it is a train, but because of the number of people that are there, you still have to go there and wait for 45 minutes. Okay, but it is convenient. It is cleaner, it is simpler to take the train as opposed to the bus. Buses always have some challenges or the other, but more recently they have improved the process for the bus, alhamdulillah. Okay, so these are the different variations. So Kidana, as I said, is an air-conditioned luxury building. It's not a camp, it's a luxury building. Okay, and the prices go significantly up on that. I'll go over that inshallah. This is Medina. Medina does not add significantly to the cost, but you should still be aware the north side of the haram, okay, which is from the other side of the mihrab, okay, the place of the Prophet ﷺ's resting place. This is the north side. This is the one closest to the sisters area. This is where most of the hotels such as the Anwar al-Madina, the Taiba, etc. are located there. That adds a little cost, but not significantly. Okay, the hotels which are on the south side generally are a little bit lower cost. They add a little bit lower cost, but again, I want to repeat, Medina does not add significant. So now let's get into the package pricing approximately. Again, these are the three things that matter. So again, I want to re-emphasize, this is only approximate prices. First one, if you're going with Al Camp, the Al Muasim camp, and the Makkah hotel is in Azizia, it's a 3 to 4 star, it can be about $8,000 to $9,000. Okay, $8,000 to $10,000. The next category, if the same Al Muasim camp, same Azizia, but it's about 4 to 5 star. That means the quality of the hotel goes up. This can go up to about $9,000 to $11,000. This includes a flight, by the way. The cost that I'm giving includes a flight. The third category is the hotel which is near Haram, okay, zone A or B hotels, and the camp is still Al Muasim camp. The cost goes up to about $10,000 to $13,000. Okay, again, this is just approximate ranges we are giving. The fourth category is where hotel is near Haram, camp is Al Kabsh. The cost can go up from 13 to 16 or a little bit more. If some packages are there which are in zone C, which is like about a mile away, they still offer it with Al Kabsh. That could be a little bit lower than 13,000, but please plan for this. If you're saying, I only want to go to Al Kabsh, start thinking about $13,000 to $16,000. Okay? Kidana. This, I'm sorry, that is actually 30 plus I put there, okay? There is a reason why I did that, because last year it went up to 35,000. I expect this to go up to about 40,000, okay? Again, we don't even get into these packages because it's only administered by a specific group. These are the packages that we generally deal with. We are not concerned about packages right now, okay? We want to help you through the registration. That's our goal. Okay, whether you go with us or not is not relevant to us. You going to a Hajj is relevant to us. That is the key part. So, I want to re-emphasize, the reason I'm re-emphasizing again and again is it is recommended that we don't share the package ranges even with you. But we want to do it so that you start preparing for it. So that you start preparing your financial aspect. That's why I want to keep re-emphasizing the package prices are only released by the ministry through the nusuk. Until the prices are released on the nusuk, it is not official. For all you know, the prices might go up, prices might come down, but generally we think this is the range it's going to be in. We don't believe it will go much beyond this. Now, we are going to support throughout this process. Yes. Oh, good question, good question. All the packages include breakfast and lunch, breakfast and dinner, okay? All the packages include breakfast and dinner. I don't believe there is any package from Nusuk that does not include that, okay? It includes the breakfast and dinner. Some packages will include lunch also. But generally, most of the packages will not include lunch. It is breakfast and dinner are included in the package in the hotel itself. Okay, so these are all the different support systems that my team offers. My team has all this active, we do this active guidance and support throughout this thing to all the hujjaj, irrespective of whether you are going with our group or not. That doesn't matter to us. To all the hujjaj, we are going to help do the registration, understand the packages, get through the e-wallet, etc. This is our commitment, inshallah, if Allah continues to accept us. This is our this thing. We are going to release our preferred packages, the packages that we'll get involved in. But it's only our preferred packages. This does not change our support to the people. It does not change. Now, where it does change is once the Hajj starts. The reason we even started taking groups of people is because we saw the challenges people were going through with other groups, with different groups. So we decided, instead of being on the phone trying to help from here, we decided we'll go with them basically. But again, until then, we will guide you through this one. We'll support the package selection. We have fiqh and logistics. In the logistics session, we will pretty much walk you through step by step. How do you get out of your camp and walk to the Jamarat? We're going to get to that level, inshallah. That's what we do in our logistics session. And then if people who are going with us, the guides will start the coordination, inshallah. It's okay? Q&A. Questions? Open. Yes.
Number of hujjahs you take.
Let's not get into that. Okay, simply because we don't know what happens this year. The number is varied. Don't worry about us taking it. Concentrate on registration. Concentrate on getting the package. Okay, if you pick one of the packages to select, alhamdulillah. Okay, if you want to know our reputation, if you go to our website ppthajj.com, we have the feedback from people there. You can review it, and by Allah's blessings, we have excellent rating from people actually. This is not from us, okay? This is from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Because my team is mostly young people and they are dedicated to making sure that the hujjaj are comfortable, okay? And they are guided properly, taking them to Umrah. We are with our group 100% of the time. These other groups have commented, etc., etc. But we'll get into that later, inshallah, okay? For right now, concentrate on registration. Okay? Concentrate on registration. Follow our webinars. See how we explain things, and then you will see what we do. Okay? Inshallah. I mean, we have taken up to 500 people, 400 people. So it's number varies. We don't want to talk about that right now. Yes, sir. What does the word nusuk mean? I don't know. Sorry about it. I have not done the research on it, but I will do some work on it, inshallah. I don't know what nusuk means. Yes?
We can buy the package debit card or credit card.
Okay. Good question. The brother is asking if we buy the package through the debit card or credit card. Okay. You don't buy the package by a card or something. You buy the package from the e-wallet. Okay? I want to just clarify, then I'll explain that. You buy the package from the e-wallet. E-wallet is nothing but like your purse. Okay? How you put the money into the purse, it doesn't matter. Okay? How you put the money in the purse doesn't matter. But the purchasing is going to happen from that purse, right? Okay, I'll come to your question. I want to answer that. It's a good question. Okay? So, you're purchasing it from that purse. How you put the money into the purse is also very important. Okay? We are talking about, for two people, $20,000 to $30,000. Debit card has a limitation of $500 to $1,000. Okay? There are two ways to put the money in your purse. Let's call that the purse. Okay? Either using a card, credit card, or through the bank account. Okay? If you talk about the debit card, I would say don't even think of the debit card, because debit card has a limitation of $500 2,000 per day. So you cannot do that. Then you will be doing this for 30 days, right? So let's not talk about that. But credit cards, our recommendation is credit cards. But since you have time now, start looking at credit cards which do not have foreign transaction fee. Two things I want you to look at. You have time. You have about 2 months almost, okay? Because you're not going to put the money into the e-wallet until January timeframe. So you have time. Start looking at credit cards from larger banks like Chase, Citibank, Bank of America, but Wells Fargo. But look which credit card does not have transaction fee. Why is it so important? I'm talking about putting $30,000. Mohsin, can you get me some tea, please? You're talking about putting $30,000. $30,000 foreign transaction fee, generally it's about 3%, adds up significantly. It adds up significantly. So look for credit cards that does not have foreign transaction fee. Second thing, look for credit cards from major institutions. Why? Because when you process a credit card from your credit union, that credit card transaction is first going to go to a major bank and then it's going to go to Nusuk. Two-step process, right? Major bank clearinghouse could decline it because $30,000 from the credit union, sorry, I don't accept it. They may decline it because it's a risk for them. So look for credit card that does not have foreign transaction fee and it's from major bank. Okay? Recommendation is banks such as Chase, Wells Fargo, these type of major banks. They have clearing houses with the foreign account because the e-wallet is going into one of the Gulf banks. I think it's a Gulf bank that it goes to, or last time I think it also went to Saudi bank. Anyway, it's one of the bank out there. Many times the credit cards will also decline and we'll help you through how to resolve it. We'll discuss that later on, inshallah. Now, bank account. Our recommendation is use the credit card than the bank account because banks generally are very hesitant transferring large amount of money to a foreign bank. Okay?